My name's Staff Sergeant Sal Giunta, and I'm from Hiawatha, Iowa. The day was like any other, I guess, October day in Afghanistan. So it starts off cold, cool in the morning, and then the day heated up. 2 days prior, up on the Abascar, the scouts got hit with attachment from 2nd Platoon Battle Company, and they got ran up on by the Taliban, you know, or whoever, the bad guys. And that's a pretty big deal because, you know, this is the 173rd, and I know those guys. I know Sergeant Rice, I know Sergeant Rugel, I know the scouts, I know 2nd Platoon, you know. We don't get ran up on, and we definitely don't get beat. If you want to bring a fight, that's fine, you're gonna get your ass beat, that's just okay. But that day wasn't how it happened, and that was just right up the ridge from us still and a little bit to the north. So it's we already know there's hostiles there. Are they still there? Not sure, but it was a quiet overwatch. It all was set off. They did an excellent job. They did what we would do. Same thing, same procedures, L shape, good distance. We saw tracers everywhere. You know, tracers, they don't usually, it's not tracer, 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 tracer. It's tracer, maybe 3-4 rounds, tracer. So to see tracers absolutely everywhere. In front of you, behind you, around you, on the ground, in the air, flying over you, RPGs. The initial contact was just intense. It was pretty intense initial contact. It's a battle drill. I mean, everyone, you're gonna react because you know exactly how to react. Everyone's gonna do exactly their piece of the puzzle, even though it's a controlled chaos. The thing that, you know, you look around every day in the Army and there's some chaos going on, but that trains you or prepares you for a bigger chaos or a different chaos where you can control somewhat of the chaos or direct the chaos or where the tornado or whatever may go. And initially, fire back, take cover. 2 things. You can do them simultaneously. You just need to know you're putting rounds downrange. You need to shoot where they're shooting from and let them know, you know, F you. This ain't gonna happen, not today. Casey and Clary, to my left, that's gonna be my next direct. I need to see what's up with them. This is the team. Sergeant Gallardo's worrying about the squad. Brennan's worrying about his team. So my team, what's going on? Casey's down, same kind of little defilade area. Clary's down. His area wasn't as big as Casey's or mine was, but he's still laying down on the ground. Both firing back. Kind of shout to them, you know, hey, cyclic. Cyclic to Casey. Casey's, the SAL is the M249, which is your mass casualty producing weapon in a team. Just hammer it, just rock it, just shoot everything. Shoot back and forth, shoot all the lights. And he did that, and he was already doing that. I mean, it's pretty chaotic. I'm gonna say that, I'm gonna yell that, but he's doing it. He already knew that. He's a professional. This is what we get paid to do. We didn't go out there and like, hey, we're gonna deploy to Afghanistan. Like, this is what pays our bills. This is what gives us money to have fun. This is the life that we chose to live, at least at this moment in time. We didn't join. We're not engineers. We're not anything. We are infantry. I signed up. I want to learn how to shoot a gun. I don't want to learn how to type on a computer. And so everyone's doing exactly what needs to be done, which makes the team leader job freaking sweet. You know, if your guys are doing their job, hey, cool, I'll just find the next thing to do. Casey's firing 203s, Clary's firing 203s, Clary's shooting, Casey's laying down cyclic, that's great, but that also puts him in a position to be a target, because the same thing that we're doing is shooting at their muzzle flashes, is they're shooting at our muzzle flashes, and we got muzzle flashes. Casey has a a fire launcher just flashing. And I mean, like I said, we were moving out at dark, so it sticks out. I shoot a couple more shots. Casey and Claire are moving. I'm gonna see what the squad leader wants, see what we can do here. You know, all this is happening incredibly quick, so it's not, everyone's doing exactly what they need to do, which allows it to happen so quick. I looked up the trail and saw Sergeant Gallardo pushing forward towards Alpha Team, and there's just, that same initial wall is still happening. Like this whole time, their initial contact within the first 5 seconds, all this is first 5 seconds or less, has not stopped. They're all shooting cyclic. There's RPGs going above our heads. Most of them were all the RPGs were mainly above. And Sergeant Gallardo is trying to move forward, and it's just, you can see it, it's a wall of tracers. That's not really something you want to go running through. I've read some of those sworn statements. I've read all the sworn statements. And in my mind, like, my memory of it is a little different. And like I said, everything kind of happens all at once. So like at the end, there's really no time, even when it's all said and done, we still got to make it back. It's not over. So there wasn't a whole lot of like reflection period. And when we did return, we found out, I didn't even know we had, you know, 2 casualties. I didn't know Brendan was going to die, and I didn't know Mendoza had died. So our reflection period wasn't reflecting on what just happened. It was more, you know, thinking about the guys. And so I remember it, I got hit in the front plate, kind of in this little defilade area, and it came, I was shooting to the left, preparing to look to my right, saw Sergeant Gallardo trying to push forward through the wall of bullets, and I got hit. And I knew what happened when I got hit because it kind of poofed and, oh, whatever, you know, if it doesn't hurt, why stop? Continued to shoot, but that came from this way. It came from our right. It came from northern part of the valley, which below us was 2nd Platoon, but that was a steep decline and still a ways away. And Brennan's up there, Necrod's up there, and Gallardo's up there, and it came from that way. And they sure as hell ain't shooting this way. And that bullet didn't come from the left. It didn't come from everyone shooting that we see, which at that point there's nothing to do with it. Just, you know, put it in the mind like, bad spot to be, because right now if 1 bullet can hit here, 2 bullets can hit here, and they can come right down this line. That's what we would do. If we set up an L-shaped ambush, that's what makes the L-shape, is them coming down the line. Once they get everyone focused here and on line, they come and swoop through the side. It's perfect. And so I pushed back out of this little draw, hoping maybe you can't see that far up there, but had Casey and Clary drop back only, you know, a foot or 2. That's their best spot, but it's just not that good a spot right now. And Gallardo came running back to link up with us, you know, because it was a big wall of fire. And he, on his way back to us, kind of right in the area where I got hit, maybe 10 meters in front of it, still a little 10 meters northwest, so still between us and on the line of fire coming here, I saw his head kind of like ding. And didn't think he tripped. I saw his head ding, like, you know, it's still, this is all fast. It's all still happening. Didn't jump up to help him up. I didn't think he was gonna get up. I was gonna go just grab him and pull him back. Do the best. That's my next move. My guys are doing everything they can do. Me shooting an M4, okay, I can shoot, you know, maybe another 30 rounds or another 15 of just popping them off, but it'd be better to grab him. And when I jumped up to go and grab him, he didn't even fall all the way to the ground. So like his head got hit, and he's kind of hitting his hands on the ground, trying to keep his balance and coming around, and I was up with him, just kind of grabbed onto his shoulder. At that time, we came back. Casey and Clary are still firing. We have no idea of anything that's happening. My realm of understanding of this whole time only consists of the next 15 meters behind me, because I linked up with with Casey, Casey's with Clary. We're all within closer proximity of than when we were walking. And I had grenades on me, Gallardo had grenades on him, Clary had grenades on him. So we consolidated the grenades. So there's not a whole lot of time to talk. There's still a lot of shooting. Casey's not stopping. Casey's firing the whole time. Clary's getting his grenades out. I'm pulling my grenades out. We're still on the ground, on our sides, pulling grenades out. Still shooting when we can, just because we're not going to run out of ammunition in this case. It's gonna go one of two ways, and it's not going to be the way of running out of ammunition. It's going to be no one left or none of them left. Everyone's doing it together, and everyone's doing exactly what they need to do, and it's easy to be a professional baseball player on a professional team and never play, but you still get to be a professional and you still get to win. So it's easy to be part of a team of professionals and do your part because everyone else is doing their part, you know? There's no standout. You're working as a team, moving, which is good. As far as motivating, it's motivating too, but like I said, there's no motivation needed. All this is still happening, and you know, 3 grenades, getting down, returning fire, shooting. At no point had any firing ever stopped. It's just still lots of shooting. And as I'm looking to the left, I'm still running, and I'm not getting shot at, so I don't, you know, it's probably better you say, I'm up, he sees me, I'm down, maybe 3 to 5 second rush. There's no time for a 3 to 5 second rush. If you're not getting shot at, you're lucky, just keep on going. So just kept on running, and I came up on I came up on 3 guys, and 2 guys were carrying 1 guy. And this is all, as I'm running, this is what I'm seeing. So I'm explaining a lot slower than it happens. And like I said, the moon, it was nighttime, but the moon was closer to a full moon than anything. And when there's no city lights or anything, your eyes become a lot more aware of how much light there is at night, especially when there's a full moon and you have good loom. I didn't have my nods down. I had my nods up, but I can definitely see muzzle flashes. I can definitely still see people, and I can see people in my, you know, I'm within range of the bad guys, within the range of the good guys. We all are pretty much the same. And I saw the people, but I couldn't make out everything. And one guy had another guy's arms, and the other guy had the guy's legs, and they were moving backwards. They were well, not backwards, but they were moving towards the west, which would be away from where we're going, which is towards the gunfire. And as I'm running, I'm just like, what? You know, who beat me here? Because, like I said, I don't know anything that happened behind us. Maybe they moved around us to go front. I don't know why they would do that. That wouldn't be how it should go. That's why we train this stuff, so we can know where everyone's piece is. And as I'm running, I noticed, you know, they're not friendlies. And that's not an Afghani that they're carrying. And so I just run and shoot and run. You know, they weren't ready for that. They both had their guns slung on their backs. They had a guy in their arms. So when I ran up on them, I was just shoot to kill. I mean, that's what time it is. Time to get rid of them. And I shot one guy, and he dropped. And the other guy, before the one guy actually like fell, the other guy was already gone. And at that time, by the time that guy dropped, the other guy was gone. Brennan's on the ground. He doesn't have his helmet. He doesn't have his rucksack. He doesn't have his gun. He doesn't have the bottom part of his jaw. He's hurt. He's alive. I grabbed him on the back of the IOTVs. There's a handle. Grabbed the handle and just started running back from the direction, kind of going back to where I thought that he would be. You know, subconsciously or thinking back, that's why I ran there, and that's where they're going to go next after Echo. That would be the process of how things would work. So it's better to be found where they're at and be out of the front area, because the area they were at that time, there wasn't any trees, and it was this eerie, I don't know if it was an eerie area. For me, it was eerie. When I think back on it, it's eerie to me every time I think about it, but there was no There wasn't as many bushes as there was everywhere else. It was flat, and it was flat on top of the ridge where the rest of the ridge was pointed. And there wasn't any real there was no shooting in my area at that time. Tried to undo his IOTV. I'm just gonna check for wounds. I'm not getting shot at. I'm okay. There's guys coming. Everything will be fine. I got a new magazine and gun. I'm ready if they do come. And had him squeeze my one hand while I'm checking for the other hand, because it's nighttime, so I need to feel more than I can see, and I need to feel for the blood, and I need to feel for the holes. And he's complaining his chest hurt, so, you know, the way his face looked, there's gonna be a breathing problem, but he's talking, so that's good. Started talking about, you know, what would be the best place other than this f***ing ridge in the middle of Afghanistan in the Cornwall Valley, which is home. Just kind of brought up, you know, Wisconsin going home, trying to laugh about how he knows he's gonna go home, he's gonna be drunk in a week, you know. That's what you get. You gotta get out of the shit, you gotta have a beer. It's not always the best way, but it's not there. And he's still talking like, oh man, you're gonna go home, you're gonna go to Wisconsin. He's like, yeah, you know, he's not talking a lot. It's a forced talk, but he is still responding, and he is still squeezing my hand, and he's still with it. I want to say the whole time leading up to that was less than, you know, maybe 15 seconds, maybe 30 seconds, maybe 100 lifetimes. I don't know, you know. It's all, my time frame or my idea of that time during that process is all out of whack. I don't know how long. But it was just him and I. I called for a medic. I called for Sergeant Gallardo. Clary came, Clary showed up, Clary starts pulling security to the north, kind of northwest in this area, so no one comes from our side and gets us on the side, even though they're still taking contact. There's still contact to our left. There was a grenade that blew up, you know, to the front left. At that, you don't know if it's ours, if it's theirs, maybe it wasn't a grenade, but there was an explosion. Coming through the explosion, Sergeant Gallardo, he came running through, and he called up on the radio about Brennan. He started helping me evaluate Brennan. He started putting in, he put in Casey, so Casey's, we're setting up more of a security point now. The firing behind us and to the west, so to the southwest of us, has dropped off a lot, but they're not shooting anymore, which makes moving a lot easier. Doesn't make anything safe by any means, because who knows, they'd just be sitting there, but at least makes moving, it's easier moving when you're not getting hit. Just continue to try to find all of Brennan's wounds. Continue to try to help him. It's already been called up. They're calling up to hire. They're relaying whatever messages they are. I finished my evaluation of Brennan, you know, gunshot wounds to the leg, shrapnel to the face, gunshot wound, shrapnel, gun/wound, shrapnel to the chest, problems breathing. He's bleeding. He's not bleeding as bad as he should. Roll him over, checking his back. The exit wounds are usually bigger than entrance wounds. Make sure we're not missing something that's important. Continuing to reassure. He's still talking. It's more of like a moan, like a forced breathing. And what we didn't know was Mendoza, who is the medic, was shot. Probably initial contact shortly after, and so he wasn't going to be coming. But who did end up coming was Sergeant Shelton ended up showing up, who is the platoon sergeant, and there was a medic from 3rd Platoon. I don't remember exactly who it was. Then there was a male nurse that was with us just for this mission. So, you know, that more experience. We try to bring the better guys that we have, or, you know, just bring what we can. And he showed up, and he decided, he put the thing on Brennan's finger, do his heart rate and all that, and Brennan starts kind of going unconscious, he's not responding. He performed a tracheotomy. I guess cut a small slit in Brennan's throat and then inserted a little plastic tube to open the breathing. He gave me, I don't even know what it's called, the bag with the face mask with the bag attached to help him breathe, and I was pumping that, and then Sergeant Brothers was going through and still checking. Sergeant Gallardo was putting all the guys into, you know, a security formation, so we're covered in the middle doing what we're doing. The people behind us started showing up. They were linking up with us. They were bringing like ponchos, and like ponchos mainly, and they were carrying people. We had an engineer with us that was hit and trying to get stuff to the wounded. You know, you have a guy go down on you, that hurts. You're -1 guy, you're -1 friend. Depending how bad it is, maybe he can continue, maybe he can't. But then you also need to pick up his spot and his stuff and take care of him. But you're not in the clear, you're not in a hospital room, you're not waiting for the next thing to happen. You have to plan for the next thing to happen, and that is an intense part of training, because you have to do that. Because if you don't do that, you're only half the soldier that you could be. I mean, fighting, be an excellent assaulter, be an excellent warrior, be an excellent into the bullets and close with the enemy, but if you cannot help other people help themselves, or help yourself help your people, then you're only half of what you need to be. And so that's trained by everyone. I really feel that this is about the truest statement that I could make about it, as far as I only did the next thing that needed to be done, and I was only able to do it because the men around me had the rest of it taken care of. It's hard to take credit for simply the next step when so many steps had already been taken by everyone else. I didn't do, in the process of this L-shaped ambush, there was probably 1,000,001 things that needed to be done. And everyone was taking it a step at a time in their own lane, in their own piece, fitting in their pieces of the puzzle. My puzzle by no means was the biggest piece. My part of the puzzle wasn't the best piece. Mine wasn't the hardest piece to put in, and it wasn't the easiest piece to put in. It was just another piece of the puzzle that put together this whole picture, and how they fought us and we fought them, and how it all panned out. You know, you can read citations and stuff about the Medal of Honor, and everyone's heard about someone who's received the Medal of Honor, and these people are like superhuman, like some real hero shit. Like, cool, dude, I want to shake your hand. Look, can I buy you a beer? Can I drink a beer next to you? Can I talk to you? I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. I mean, okay, cool. You know, what's cool is I'm still here. That's freaking lucky. I'm not superhuman. I didn't dodge them. Good thing we have IBAs. Good thing I ran fast enough, or I ran slow enough, or whatever it was, it worked out for me. Thank God. You know, God was looking out for me. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I was lucky. Not heroic. I was lucky. I didn't, when I read it sometimes and I hear someone talk about it, or even, you know, the different articles, and I see it and it makes it sound like I ran through bullets to save my buddy. No. I didn't run through any bullets. I got hit with one bullet. It didn't hurt. It didn't actually hit me. I got hit in the small D that I was carrying. Didn't hit me. Lucky me. It's a rocket. We're all good. I didn't go and save a buddy. I ran up to get next to him. I ran up to find out what's up. I ran up to tell him, this is where we're at, this is where you're at, this is what I've seen. I ran up there to shoot next to him to help him shoot. He would be waiting there for me if he could have been shooting to cover me while I came running into him. When I read it, it sounds like I went out of my way to do something special. I didn't do anything special. I didn't go out of my way. That was the next step. Here I am taking the next step, boom. So when someone says, you know, we can put you in for the Medal of Honor, I think about think about Brennan, and I think about Mendoza, and like, Medal of Honor is super awesome, super badass. Like, badasses get the Medal of Honor. I'm not that badass. Why do they want to give this to me? Because I got 2 good buddies that I lost that night, and I don't deserve it. Don't give me the highest medal. I don't need a medal. I didn't do anything for a medal. I didn't do anything in particular for Brennan. I did what I was supposed to do. If I didn't do what I was supposed to do, it would be hard for me to call myself a professional, and it'd be hard for me to accept a paycheck that I'm gonna get. If you didn't report, you probably wouldn't expect to get paid for being a reporter, you know? If I didn't fight, and I didn't fight as hard as I could, I should probably not get paid to be a soldier. I didn't make myself. Everyone around me made me. I didn't raise myself, I didn't teach myself things. I was taught things from the people around me. As far as, I mean, from being a little kid, from being the 10-year-old, not knowing that I'm gonna go in the Army, or hearing a military story, or my parents correcting a wrong that I make and showing me the right way, or friends, the way I came up, the way I was raised, my family, my friends, my teachers, my acquaintances, the different jobs that I've had, to coming into the Army and clipping grass at Fort Benning with my fingers, pulling weeds. When there's a weed whacker, a weed whip, let's just do this. Oh no, we're gonna do it this way? Gotcha, okay. I didn't make myself the man I am. Everyone else made me the man I am. And if that's a good man, cool. I hope so. I tried to be. I mean, I can only try my best. But I have to be open, and I have to listen, and I have to be willing to learn what people are going to teach me, and then I have to take the people that teach me some things that I'm like, that's not probably right, or I can think of a better way to do it, or this guy told me something better, to take the good and the bad and sort through the good and the bad and come out with the good and leave the bad. Everyone around me taught me everything that I did. I'm not responsible for, I'm responsible for it. Everyone's accountable and responsible for their own actions. But it worked out really good, and that's not my fault. It's everyone else's fault. But it worked out good. It's still their fault, you know? It's important to bring everyone into this because no one acted alone. I can't be a leader without someone to follow me, and I can't be a leader unless everyone has a boss. My boss was right there with me. My boss was leading the way. My boss did this. My boss did that. I was doing stuff because my guys were going to follow me. My guys were going to follow me because they knew how it was going to go, and that I was going to hopefully lead them to something that was going to help us as a whole, the same way I followed Sergeant Gallardo. They all knew exactly what they were doing along the way. It worked out really well. Pretty well. Fairly well. It didn't really work out really well. It definitely could have been better, but I just don't know how to find that.